Tonight, we report on the cause of a June 30th explosion near Moses Lake, and the Grant County PUD debuts a children's learning program next week. And what's happening in sports, Sean?
Plenty, Bethany. The Spuds take on Twin City in doubleheader action, and the Wenatchee Apple Sox lose a close one to the Bend Elks. Let's take a glance at our Weather Center forecast.
Good to be with you, everybody. Pretty quiet weather, some scattered showers across the area. Let you know how the forecast is looking in just a few moments.
I'm Bethany Jenks, and we have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
An explosion inside a home near Moses Lake was reportedly caused by the victim mixing explosive powder in a blender. Justin McKinney, a 31-year-old man, remains at Harborview Medical Center in Seattle and is listed in satisfactory condition. He was reportedly using a blender to mix explosive powder inside a home on Beacon Road on June 30th when the powder ignited. Investigators do not know why he was mixing the powder. McKinney was taken to Samaritan Hospital in Moses Lake and later transferred to Harborview with life-threatening injuries. The Washington State Patrol Bomb Squad was used to search the home for explosive devices, and agents from the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms assisted in the investigation. The Grant County Commissioner's Office is in the process of relocating to allow the county to make room for an additional district courtroom. Reporter Cameron Probert has the details.
Work started recently to move the Grant County Commissioner's offices and hearing room. The move is the most recent in a set of changes to make room for a third district courtroom and to bring all the county departments into county-owned buildings. The county moved the Grant County Health District, the Public Defenders, and the Building and Planning Departments last year. The Grant County Assessor's Office was moved earlier in the year. The next change is switching the Commissioner's offices across the hall into the space formerly occupied by the Assessor's Office. The Commissioner's hearing room will be placed downstairs across the hall from the current Assessor's Office. Central Services Director Tom Gaines said a contractor is presently installing a suspended ceiling in the former Assessor's Office. He expects to have the Commissioners moved by the end of summer and to begin work to convert the Commissioner's office into a third district courtroom. For iFIBER 1 News, this is Cameron Probert reporting.
A man is serving 3 months in jail after leading police on a chase in a stolen car. Isaac Gonzalez, a 28-year-old man, pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to possession of a stolen vehicle and attempting to elude a pursuing police vehicle. When combined with his present convictions, he was sentenced to the minimum end of the sentencing range, 3 months in jail. A state trooper spotted the Honda Gonzalez was driving as it was turning onto State Route 17 from Kittleson Road. When a state trooper signaled for the car to stop, Gonzalez continued on to Interstate 90 and fled. He reportedly drove into the oncoming lane several times, reached speeds between 80 and 100 miles per hour, and crashed the car into a ditch. Gonzalez ran from the car, and a trooper caught him. 3 people were injured in a crash early Thursday morning on Interstate 90 in Moses Lake. Hakan Bronze, an 18-year-old Minnesota man, was driving a 2002 Nissan Sentra East on I-90 when he reportedly drove off the road, causing the car to roll down an embankment. According to the Washington State Patrol, Bronze and 2 of his passengers, Daniel Tweeton, a 27-year-old Minnesota man, and a 9-year-old Everett girl, were injured and taken to Samaritan Hospital in Moses Lake. 2 other passengers, a 6-year-old girl and a 2-year-old girl, were not hurt. The State Patrol determined Bronze reportedly fell asleep at the wheel, and he was issued a ticket for negligent driving in the 2nd degree. And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be back right after this.
My name is Kat Sanderson, Managing Broker for Pillar Rock Realty Group. We love the Columbia Basin because it's our home, and we want to give back to our community by kicking off our Pay It Forward campaign. If you buy or list with us, we will donate 1% of our total proceeds to a local charity of your choice and in your name. Call us today at 754-4444 or visit pillarrockrealty.com because we are your local real estate experts.
Hello everybody, good to be with you. I'm Ceci Gutierrez with your local weather report from the One News Weather Center. And it is brought to you by iFIBER One's Inside Look. Watch it today on iFiber1.com. And let's begin with a quick look at your headlines. Finally, we can have this sub-headline: heat easing up across the entire region, but still we'll see these temperatures a few degrees above average as we head into this Friday. But as we head into next week, we could be seeing some seasonable temperatures across the area. Now, overnight tonight, pretty quiet weather. Areas of smoke, however, and this is due to the wildfires across British Columbia. Scattered showers and the potential for thunderstorms across the region. Mostly inland northwest is where we could see that deep moisture. Seasonable temperatures by next week. I'm definitely looking forward to the heat easing up across the area. And notice these readings around the triple digits once again, registering this afternoon, and the sunset at around 8:55 this evening. Moving on to Moses Lake, similar scenario. These temperatures around 103 and the sunset 8:54. Here's a quick peek at the conditions right outside your door. Currently around 101 and the wind out of the south with dry conditions. That very light wind out of the south, 7 miles per hour. Now we have a low pressure, a decaying low from California and approaching trough from over the coastline, and that's keeping the mid-level moisture across the region. As we head into the next few days, we'll start to notice deepening moisture inland northwest, and that's going to be keeping the cloud cover across the entire area, and some heavy rains cannot be ruled out across the inland portion. Now here's a quick look at what we're expecting for this Friday afternoon. Partly to mostly cloudy skies across Yakima in the upper 90s. Ponderay looking at mid-90s. Taking a closer look across the basin, Columbia Basin, we're expecting for fine temperatures, we could say approximately 10 degrees above average, and some cloud cover across the region. We are very much looking forward to these temperatures easing up a bit and heading into the mid to upper 80s as we head into next week with dry conditions. Now, quiet weather is expected during the next few days. A little bit of a cloud cover scenario cannot be ruled out as we head into the weekend. Now, the bulk of the rain is expected inland northwest. We'll be seeing that cloud cover extending well into Sunday, and we're expecting to head back to work into the routine as we head into Monday with near normal temperatures. This segment brought to you by iFIBER One's Inside Look. Watch it today on iFiber1.com. Be right back with sports.
Experience speed like never before when you connect to Grant PUD's high-speed network. Visit grantpud.org to learn more.
The Spuds battled the heat at Larson Field as they took on Twin City in doubleheader action. The Spuds opened up the scoring in the first inning with 2 runs and plated 1 more in the second, taking an early 3-0 lead. That would be all the runs the Spuds would need, as Twin City was only able to muster up 2 runs in the fourth. The Spuds took the first game of the doubleheader 4-2. Jaime Vela went 3 for 3 at the plate with 3 singles. Brian Wolf was 2 for 4 with an RBI. Kevin Cosper was the winning pitcher for the Spuds, going 5 innings, giving up 6 hits and 2 earned runs while striking out 3. Twin City took game 2 of the doubleheader 5-0, splitting the 2-game series. Tyson Karstetter was the losing pitcher for the Spuds, going 2 1/3 innings, giving up 4 hits and 2 earned runs. The Spuds are on the road this weekend for tournament ball in Whitworth. It's not often you see an inside-the-park home run, but 2 in the same game, that's unheard of. Check out what happened last night when the Kansas City Royals took on the Tampa Bay Rays.
Held in. That ball struck pretty well. Gordon racing back, still going back. And it's just over his head, and Forsythe will have a double.
Uh-oh.
And Gordon is down. Oh, man, they're going to send Forsythe home. And Alex Gordon is hurt and left. Dice into left field. And it gets by the left fielder. Watch Gerard Dyson fly. Escobar scores easily. They're sending Dyson home. He will score on the inside of the Parker.
The Wenatchee Apple Sox scored 4 runs in the 9th inning, but came up just short, losing to the Bend Elks 8-7. The Elks swept the 3-game series behind some power hitting. Bend scored 6 runs in the first 2 innings. They had 16 hits in this game. The loss puts the Sox at 14-17 on the season. Wenatchee is on the road this weekend in Longview, taking on the Cowlitz Black Bears. We'll be right back after this.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
Our spotlight story tonight is about a group of children in Moses Lake learning the world of theater through a drama camp, ending with a production of Snow White on Friday afternoon. Reporter Devin Higgins has the story.
The dog days of summer are a time when most kids enjoy the last weeks of vacation before a new school year. But for a small group of Moses Lake youngsters, it's a chance to branch out into the world of acting and theater at the annual Day 1 drama camp. Ephrata High School drama teacher Randy Johnstad started the camp at the Moses Lake Museum and Arts Center in 2010 to give younger students an opportunity to try acting and be part of an ensemble performance. This year's camp is putting on Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and Johnstad said the kids make sure they put on a good show.
You know, we audition them on Monday, and on Friday we do it, and they learn their lines, and they're cute plays. They're from an online, what's it called, Art Reach. And they do these types of plays for kids in elementary school, for teachers to, you know, have the script, and it's written for the kids so they can learn them easily, and they just do great. They do a good job. They have a great time all week long, and I just love doing it with them. This year I've got wonderful staff. Margaret Angel, who just retired from as a teacher through the Moses Lake School District. Gail Johnson just retired from the PUD, and I have one high school student from Ephrata, Maya Alsop, whose mother is an English teacher and is the ASB advisor at Ephrata High School. And Marley was in my production of Grease. She's a 9th grader last year, and she'll be a 10th grader this year. But she's wonderful, just really neat with the kids and good person. So I'm really blessed this year. I mean, I get to come kind of late, and I get to leave kind of early, and it's real fun.
Some young actors are back for their 3rd or 4th camps and say it's a fun place to hang out and do something they enjoy during summer vacation.
Just making friends, and you learn how to watch other people and just look around and see what other people do, and mess up, it's fine because the audience doesn't know if you mess up or do. So it's just kind of a fun place to go in summer when you don't have anything to do.
I get to meet cool new people. I do have a lot of fun activities, and it's also just fun being a villain because you get to be evil, and I like acting. I never know exactly how other people see my acting. Like, am I being too over the top, not enough? I'm never sure exactly how to portray her, but I always try, and it's still pretty fun.
What's it like working with Randy?
He's awesome. He's very energetic. Lots of hip hip hoorays. He's very kind. There's a lot of littler kids, so he's like slower with them so they understand what's going on. So I think he's the perfect person for this job.
The camp's production of Snow White premieres Friday afternoon at 4:30 p.m. at the Moses Lake Museum and Arts Center. In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFIBER 1 News.
We will be right back after this. Welcome back. Grant County is moving closer to fixing the Youth Services Center after portions of it sank in early 2014. The Grant County Commissioners agreed to hire a general contractor to coordinate using concrete to raise the sections of the building that sank. A break in a 1-inch water pipe used for irrigating landscaping leaked about 184,000 gallons of water underneath the building. The water made the soil under a section of the building settle from 2 inches to more than 3 inches. The drop damaged door frames, walls, and displaced ceiling tiles. Tom Gaines, the Central Services Director, said the building is safe. It's estimated the repairs will cost about $400,000. It is being paid by the county's insurance company. A man failed to appear for 3 court hearings in a case where he was accused of not keeping in contact with a corrections officer. Peter Flores, a 22-year-old Moses Lake man, pleaded guilty in Grant County Superior Court to 2 counts of escape from community custody and 1 count of bail jumping. Flores has previous felony convictions for bail jumping in 2013 and for possession of a stolen firearm in 2012. When combined with his present convictions, he was sentenced to a year in prison. A warrant was initially issued for Flores after he failed to check in with his probation officer 3 times after his conviction for possession of a stolen firearm. Prosecutors charged Flores in 2014 for escaping community custody. Bail was set for Flores and was released. Then he failed to show up for his hearing and a warrant was issued for his arrest. Flores reportedly missed 2 more hearings. The Grant PUD is trying something new this year in teaching kids about hydroelectric power. Grant PUD staff is beginning the summer library tour next week. Along with presentations, there are hands-on activities for the kids to learn about how the PUD converts water into electricity and the importance of safety around electrical lines and household items. PUD spokesperson Chuck Allen said this is the first year for them to take part in the summer reading program with the North Central Regional Library. The PUD is hosting presentations at the Moses Lake Public Library next Monday at 11:30 a.m., the Ephrata Public Library on July 16th at 10:30 a.m., the Soap Lake Public Library on July 16th at 1 p.m., and the Wardham Public Library on July 20th at 2 p.m. In Northwest news, a Washington man may have just reconnected with his daughter he didn't know he had until he saw a photo on Facebook. A Seattle woman shared it in her search for her long-lost dad, and it may have finally reached the man that she's been looking for. Curo's Caitlin Boldock has more.
On a whim, Tina Gomez posted this photo to Facebook, hoping it would lead her to her long-lost father. She knew his name, but she had no idea who he was. Now, that photo was shared and reshared tens of thousands of times until it wound up on Rick Castellanos' computer screen.
I go, I'm going to call her up. So I got him in my truck, and then I took a picture of myself, and I sent it to her, and called her up.
Gomez says she was stunned to hear his voice on the other end of the line.
He said, you know, I remember your mom. She was very beautiful, and I'm just amazed. I'm excited, and he said, I don't know what to say.
Castellanos says he dated Gomez's mother in California for a couple months and then moved to Vancouver, not knowing she was pregnant.
I wish I would have known.
Gomez, who now has a family of her own, says she always felt like a little piece of her was missing. Turns out Castellanos has always felt the same way too, without knowing why.
I've been looking for something like this. I've been looking for something like this for a long time. And I am pleased. I'm very happy. I wish I would have known. my life would have been so much different.
The two are now sharing stories about themselves over the phone. Castellano says he can already spot out some similarities.
Her mouth, by the way she talks, by the things that she's done in her past, it's kind of like, oh, I'm sorry, that I've done that too, you know.
It could be a reunion decades in the making, and all thanks to Facebook.
I thank everybody today. I thank Tina for just going out there and looking for me and wanting me all these years.
That's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching, and we'll see you again tomorrow.